The host held up a brass house key engraved NIA Hale and asked me to give it to my foster daughter while she signed the oversized family portrait behind us. Nia stared at the surname cut into the metal. "Why does that key have your name on it?" she asked. My wife closed my fingers around it. "Tell her we already agreed," Dana whispered. I kept my fist shut. The host waited beneath the lights, one hand still extended. When I refused to perform the handoff, Dana pulled a second weapon from behind the podium. "Say she asked us to adopt her," my wife whispered, pushing a microphone script against my chest as the red camera lights came on. 20 feet away, 16-year-old Nia stared up at a 40-foot screen that already called her NIA Hale our daughter by choice. Hale was my last name. No court had changed hers. No adoption had been filed, and the girl on that stage had told us twice that she was not ready to call anyone mom or dad. "Read the paragraph, Marcus," Dana said. "If you contradict this in front of the county team, they will see an unstable home and move her by Monday." 180 guests at the Open Door Youth Alliance dinner were turning toward us. The host had just introduced Dana as a woman who did not merely advocate for foster families, but had built one in her own home. Nia touched the white letters behind her as if they might rub off. "Why does it say Hale?" she asked. Her microphone was already live. The room went quiet enough for me to hear the ice shifting in water glasses. Dana stepped into the light with the practice smile she used when a donor changed a pledge at the last minute. She had run communications for Open Door for 6 years. She knew how to make panic resemble a transition. "Because tonight we are finally sharing what you asked us for," she told Nia. Nia looked at me, not Dana. What did I ask for? The teleprompter began moving. My first sentence waited in white letters. 14 months ago, NIA came to U.S. afraid to belong. Tonight she has asked U.S. to become her forever parents. Dana put the microphone in my hand. Behind the first camera stood Paula Kemp, the county placement coordinator who attended Nia's reviews. Beside her were 3 Open Door board members, 2 local reporters, and enough donors to fund a year of transportation and tutoring. Nia's younger brother Eli was not there. He lived across town with a licensed foster parent named Rochelle Parker, and every serious conversation about Nia's future began with whether the siblings could live together again. Dana had promised Nia that tonight's announcement would unlock the last door for Eli to move into our spare room. She had told me the county wanted proof that Nia felt permanent before it considered adding a second child. I believed that until I saw Nia reading our surname for the first time. "Marcus," Dana said without moving her smile. "Tell them I made the wrong move before I made the right one." I lifted the microphone and announced, "Nia did not ask us to adopt her." The audience reacted as one body, a low inhale followed by the scratch of chairs. Nia's face did not show relief. It showed terror. "Then Eli isn't coming?" she asked. Dana reached for my microphone. I held it away. "What did she tell you?" Nia backed from both of us. Dana faced the audience. "This is a private family misunderstanding. Please give us one moment." The host began thanking a table sponsor while music rose too loudly. Dana gripped my arm and steered me behind the curtain. Nia followed because the stage manager had closed the other exit. "You just told every caseworker in the room she has no permanent commitment," Dana said. "I told them she didn't consent to your sentence. She wrote it." Dana pulled a folded page from her jacket. The center line was highlighted. "I want a permanent home with you, and I can imagine being adopted when Eli is safe with us." Dana had removed everything after the comma from my script. Nia snatched the letter. "I wrote this to Marcus. I had never seen it." Dana said Nia left it on my workbench 3 months earlier and Dana found it before rain came through the open garage window. "You told me he read it," Nia said. Dana answered, "I told you he understood." My wife had used my silence as an answer to a letter she never gave me. I asked why Nia believed Eli was coming. Dana's eyes moved toward the curtain. "Because he is." A child laughed in the ballroom. Nia recognized the sound before I did. She ran around the curtain. I followed and saw 12-year-old Eli at the rear doors holding a small blue suitcase. Rochelle stood behind him, rigid with anger. Around Eli's neck was an event badge printed with 4 words. NIA found her forever home. He saw his sister beneath our surname and stopped walking. Dana said you wanted me here when you chose them, he called. Nia looked down at the adoption letter in her hand. She said you were moving in. Eli's suitcase slipped to the carpet. Dana came up beside me and whispered, "Do not turn this into a scene." The scene was already standing between two siblings who had been told opposite versions of the same night. Dana tried to send Eli to the sponsor table before Nia could speak to him again. She told a volunteer his surprise entrance had happened too early and asked her to take him through the ballroom. Eli grabbed the handle of his suitcase. Nia grabbed the other side. "He stays with me." Dana said the cameras would interpret the suitcase as a planned move and create a placement problem. "You printed him a badge about my home," Nia said. "You don't get to be afraid of what a suitcase implies." The volunteer released the handle and walked away. Dana looked at me as if I had recruited the children against her. I had not. That frightened her more. Nia reached Eli first. He let her hug him but kept his arms at his sides. "Are you staying with them forever?" he asked. "I thought we both were." Rochelle said I wasn't. Nia turned on Rochelle with such force that I stepped between them. "Why did you tell him that?" Rochelle did not retreat. "Because Dana told me the same thing in writing." I accused her of blocking every attempt to place the siblings together. For 8 months Dana had described Rochelle as possessive, difficult, and afraid of losing the monthly support attached to Eli's placement. Rochelle opened her purse, then stopped herself. "No. I'm not proving my life to you in a hallway while cameras are 10 feet away." She looked at Nia. "I asked for joint visits. Dana canceled 4 of them. I asked whether your spare room was available. She said Marcus refused to take a boy with school suspensions." Eli stared at me. "You said that?" "No." Dana moved between us. "Rochelle is simplifying a safety issue." "Then say the complicated version," I said. Dana lowered her voice. Eli had thrown a chair at school 10 months earlier, before he began counseling and changed classrooms. Our home study covered Nia, not another child. Adding Eli required space, training, and agreement. All of that was true. None of it explained why Dana had told Nia the move depended on a public adoption announcement or why she had told Rochelle I refused him. Dana said, "Because Nia needed something to move toward, and Eli needed time." Nia held up the cropped letter. "You told me this was the last door." "It can be." Dana pointed toward the ballroom. The host was stretching a 3-minute sponsor video while staff waited for instructions. "We finish the announcement. We show a stable commitment. Tomorrow we begin Eli's transition discussion without this chaos attached." Rochelle laughed once. "Tomorrow you announce his education sponsorship." Dana's face changed. Rochelle had found the sentence Dana was withholding. The dinner program included a second family segment after the adoption announcement. Eli would receive a $12,000 tutoring and summer program award funded by a construction company. His current placement would remain unchanged. On stage, Dana planned to present the siblings as 2 successful paths. Nia achieving permanence through adoption and Eli achieving stability through sponsored support. Each child's story improved the other. Together they made Open Doors work look flexible and complete. Apart, they remained easier to manage. Nia read the program over Rochelle's shoulder. "You brought him here so I could leave him in public," Dana said. "I brought him so nobody could say adoption meant abandonment. It means exactly that if he thinks I'm choosing you instead of him. You are not choosing between people. Then why did you write the choice for me?" The sponsor video ended. Applause rolled through the curtain. A board member named Celeste Ford hurried backstage and asked whether the family segment could continue. Dana answered yes before anyone else spoke. I said no. Celeste glanced at the live program clock. The station had reserved 9 minutes. The construction company president was waiting to present Eli's award. 3 other youths were receiving grants later that night and had nothing to do with our family. Canceling the whole event would punish them and let Dana say my anger had cost children their moment. My first plan had been simple. Correct the adoption lie, take Nia home and discuss the rest privately. Now Nia did not want to leave with either of us. Eli believed I had rejected him. Rochelle believed I had let Dana cancel sibling visits. Open Door had arranged an audience around a family story that could not be corrected without exposing 2 minors' private history. Dana took my hesitation as surrender. She told Celeste to reset the screen and bring the children out together. Nia said, "No," Dana replied. "If you walk away now, the only public fact will be Marcus saying you never wanted this family. Is that what you want Eli to hear?" I stepped toward her. "Stop making every exit mean something she didn't say. Then give her a better entrance." Dana offered Nia the microphone script. The new version removed the word adoption. It said Nia had chosen permanence with Dana and me while supporting Eli's different path. Nia tore it down the middle. Dana did not flinch. "Fine. Use your own words. But stand with us." Nia looked at me. "Did you want to adopt me?" "Yes." The answer came too quickly because it was true. "Even if Eli came?" "I thought he would." "Would you take both of us without her?" Dana stared at me. That was not a question I could answer honestly in a hallway. I worked as maintenance supervisor for 3 public libraries. Dana earned more, managed the school meetings, and had led every placement review. Our marriage was now splitting in public. Wanting both children did not prove I could become their safe home alone. Nia mistook my pause for the 3rd rejection of the night. "Everybody wants me as long as I don't bring the person I came with," she said. She walked back toward the stage. I tried to stop her. She pulled free. "You already answered for me once. Don't do it again." My public correction had not rescued her. It had taken away Dana's lie without returning a truthful place to stand. Nia folded the torn script and pushed it into my shirt pocket. "I am going back out," she said. "Not to accept anything. I want to ask her where Eli was supposed to sleep tomorrow." I told her she did not owe the audience an explanation. "I'm not explaining myself. I'm making her answer where she can't change the question later." Rochelle warned that the livestream could follow Nia for years. Nia answered, "So can the version already on that screen." Dana hurried toward the host, but Celeste blocked the curtain until Nia said she wanted to speak. The choice was still risky. For the first time that night, however, it was Nia's risk to take. Nia stepped into the lights before the host announced her. The screen crew had removed Hale but left our daughter by choice across the blue background. Nia took the microphone from its stand. "Turn that off," she said. The technician looked toward Dana. That one glance showed who had been treated as the person authorized to define Nia. Celeste said, "The young speaker asked you to turn it off." The screen went black. Dana came beside Nia anyway. "We are going to speak honestly," she told the audience. Nia said, "You first." A few people laughed because they thought it was planned. Dana began with the language she used whenever truth threatened a program. "Foster care is complicated. Families are imperfect and permanence can take many forms." Nia interrupted. "Did you tell me Eli could move in after I agreed to adoption?" Dana said they had discussed a pathway. "Yes or no?" I said commitment would help. Eli had followed us onto the stage without his suitcase. Rochelle stayed at the curtain, close enough to reach him but unwilling to drag him away. Nia asked whether Dana told Eli he was coming to watch her choose a different home. Dana denied those words. Eli pulled his event badge over his head and held it toward her. "You mailed me this." The camera moved toward him. Rochelle stepped into the light and told the operator not to film his face. Dana objected that the event release covered invited participants. Rochelle said she had signed for an award presentation, not a sibling confrontation. Celeste ordered the close camera down. The wide live stream continued because 3 other young recipients were still waiting. Witnesses were no longer decoration. Each person controlled a different piece of what Dana needed. The screen, the camera, the children, the schedule, the credibility of the story. Dana turned to me. "Marcus, say what you told Nia. Say you want her." It was a softer version of the original order and more dangerous because I did. I took the microphone. "I wanted to adopt Nia." Nia's chin lifted. "Wanted? I still want a relationship with you, but I cannot promise you a placement tonight, and I will not use this stage to make you promise me one." Murmuring spread through the ballroom. Dana said I was abandoning a child to punish my wife. The accusation landed because part of me feared it was true. I had spent 14 months being the easy adult. I fixed Nia's bicycle, attended her debate meets, and let Dana handle the hard conversations with schools, social workers, and Rochelle. When Dana said a visit was canceled, I complained about the system instead of calling. When Nia's letter disappeared, I did not know there was a silence to question. Dana built the lie, but my comfort supplied empty rooms for it. I should have been in those meetings, I said. I let Dana speak for me long before she wrote this speech. That failure is mine. It still does not make the speech true. Rochelle came forward. She admitted a failure of her own. After Dana canceled the second sibling visit, Rochelle stopped sending Nia copies of her requests because Eli unraveled each time plans changed. She had protected him by letting Nia believe nobody was trying. Nia looked from her to me. So all three of you edited my family. No one could deny it. Dana seized the opening. Then don't make me the only villain because I was the only one willing to build something permanent. She told the audience that Nia had arrived at our house with her possessions in 2 grocery bags, that she slept with her shoes beside the bed for a month, and that Dana was the person who sat outside her door. All true. She said Eli's needs were different, and that keeping siblings physically together was not always the safest form of love. Possibly true. Then she said, I chose the child who was ready to be chosen. Eli folded his badge until the paper split. Nia asked, and if I choose him? Dana answered after too long a pause. Then you may lose the home you already have. The outrageous act was no longer a cropped sentence. Dana wanted permanence with one sibling and had designed a public ceremony where the other child's presence made refusal feel like ingratitude. Nia handed me the microphone. I want you to say it. Say what? Not what I choose. What you choose.
He faced Dana.
She was still my wife, still co-licensee of our foster home, and still the adult most likely to turn any private separation into instability around Nia. I could not remove her from the house by declaring it. I could withdraw myself from the performance. I choose not to announce an adoption that Nia did not consent to, I said. I choose not to describe Eli's separate placement as her decision. And I will leave our home tonight if that is what keeps the children from being forced to leave it with me. Dana whispered. You are giving her up. Nia heard. No, she said. He's giving up being called something tonight. Celeste ended the family segment. She told the audience the youth grants would continue after a short break, but Open Door would not use Nia or Eli's story in the broadcast. The construction company president asked from his table whether Eli's scholarship still stood. Dana looked toward him, expecting the money to discipline the room. He said, the award is for his schoolwork, not this speech. That did not make him a hero. It simply removed one threat Dana had never been authorized to make. Half the audience applauded. The other half sat frozen or angry, and one donor left. Nia flinched at the applause. Tell them to stop making this a victory, she said. Celeste did. The room obeyed slowly. Dana walked off stage alone, but she did not surrender. Backstage she called Paula, the county coordinator, and said Marcus Hale had publicly withdrawn from the placement. I heard the phrase and nearly grabbed the phone. Nia stepped between us. Use your own words, she told Dana. For the first time that night, Dana had to speak without putting them in someone else's mouth. Paula's voice came through the phone speaker. Dana, is Nia physically unsafe with Marcus tonight? Dana said the household was emotionally unstable. Paula repeated the question. Dana finally answered no. Is Eli scheduled to move into your home tomorrow? No. Was tonight's announcement required by the county? Dana looked at the dark stage before admitting it was not. 3 narrow answers removed the authority she had borrowed from people who were merely attending. Paula then asked to speak with Nia not about adoption but about where she wanted to sleep. Dana held out the phone. Nia did not take it until Dana released her grip. Paula did not decide a household in a backstage phone call. She asked who felt safe going where for one night. Nia said she would not return to our house with Dana. She would not leave with me either, because she did not know whether I wanted her or wanted to defeat my wife. Rochelle was approved to provide respite for Nia and already cared for Eli, so the siblings left together for the night. That was not a permanent reunion, an adoption or a reward. It was one night nobody had to purchase with a speech. I went to my brother's apartment. Dana returned to our house alone. The youth dinner resumed without its family segment. 3 students received their awards. Eli's tutoring grant remained his. Open Door removed Dana from communications duties, while it reviewed the unauthorized story, but the organization did not collapse and the children it served did not become scenery in her punishment. Over the next weeks, the county separated the placement question from our marriage. Dana and I separated. Nia chose to remain with Rochelle and Eli while a longer plan was considered. I completed the training and home review required to remain an approved adult in her life, but I stopped presenting approval as proof that she should choose me. Dana offered Nia 2 apologies. The first said fear of losing her had made Dana move too fast. Nia rejected it because it turned design into speed. The second named the canceled visits, the cropped letter, the false promise about Eli, the badge and the adoption script. Nia read it and offered no answer. Our divorce later became ordinary paperwork. The cost that mattered had already happened on stage. I wanted to become Nia's father, and refusing to steal that word meant accepting that she might never give it to me. 6 months after the dinner, Eli entered a county science fair with a model bridge made from thin wooden sticks and glue. Rochelle texted me that one support had snapped in the car and asked whether I could bring the small clamps I used at the library repair bench. She did not call me family. She asked for help. When I reached the school gym, Nia was sitting on the floor beside Eli, holding the bridge level across her knees. Dana stood near the entrance. Nia had invited her separately. For a moment I expected another forced reunion, but there was no reserved family table and no camera crew. Dana asked Eli whether he wanted her near the project. He said, "You can watch from the blue line." She went to the blue tape on the floor and stayed there. I knelt beside Nia and gave Eli the clamps. The repair needed 20 minutes to set. His judging slot was in 12. He began to panic. I told him the bridge could be judged with a visible repair if he explained what failed. Nia said, "You mean don't pretend it never broke?" I heard the challenge inside the joke. "I mean let him decide what the repair means." Eli chose to leave the clamp attached and explain it. His bridge did not win. It held long enough for the weight test, then leaned hard to one side. He laughed before anyone else could decide whether he should be ashamed. After judging, a volunteer asked Nia which adults belonged in the participant photo. Nia looked at Rochelle, Dana, and me. The old stage waited in miniature. One young person, several adults, and a request to turn relationships into a clean picture. "Just Eli and his bridge," she said. Dana began to object, stopped, and returned to the blue line. Rochelle handed Eli his project. I moved out of the frame. The volunteer took the photograph. Then Nia came to me holding the broken event badge from the open-door dinner. She had kept it folded in her backpack. I thought she wanted me to throw it away. Instead, she tore off the words "Forever Home" and left "NIA found her." "That isn't a sentence," I said. "It isn't finished." She put the remaining piece in her pocket. "Neither am I." She asked whether I could drive her to next month's debate meet if Rochelle was working. "If you want me there." I just asked. We left the gym separately because she was riding home with her brother. Dana remained by the blue line until Nia crossed it and spoke to her first. I did not know whether Nia would ever live in my house again, take my name, or call me anything beyond Marcus. The uncertainty hurt, but it belonged to her. That was the role Dana had tried to steal before the cameras rolled. Not father, mother, or daughter, but the right of a child to leave the next word unwritten.